Hello and welcome to this week's Mystic Message. This week happens to be a little piggyback off of our energy forecast for July. So, this is a bit of the theme for the entire month. But I wanted to take this important little nugget of the entire energy forecast, which is, a whole half hour. And I just wanted to share this one specific part because I think it's relevant to everyone, and I think everyone needs this message right now. It is chaos out there. It is this energy of a volcano about to erupt. It feels tense. It feels heavy. It feels unsettling. It feels unstable internally, perhaps in our internal life and maybe in our external life personally, but also in the world, right? It feels everything just feels like we're on this unstable ground that's shaky and we're just like waiting for something to happen. And there is a lot of intense energy. And one of the things that came through in the energy forecast for the month is for those of us, if you consider yourself a light worker. If you're watching this, you probably consider yourself that, right? Whatever definition you want to give it, really. You're here as part of this shift that we're all aware is taking place. We're shifting out of this old and into the new. We're shifting out of this kind of disempowering, kind of gross patriarchal matrix system that really fuels and feeds on inequality, injustice, lack of freedom, lack of sovereignty, control, fear, suppression, right? That is the reality that we're shifting out of. We're letting go of a lot of that and we're shifting into something that is more equal, more free, more of a collective mindset where it's based in love and compassion. And, many of us that are, whether we're spiritual or we're doing, personal work on it with ourselves, we probably subscribe to something along those lines. We've been doing the work, right? So whether you've been doing the deep inner work, shadow work for years and years and years, or maybe you've just begun, chances are you've begun to see through the bullshit. You see the tactics, you see that fear is used as a control mechanism and that, the powers that be, for lack of a better word, have, been just kind of pushing us back into survival mode, right? We've been doing the work and we realize we're these multi-dimensional badass beings and there's more to life than this 9 to 5 grind until we retire. And then maybe when we retire, maybe, which in this economy, no fucking way, maybe we can retire and actually enjoy our lives. But, you know, that's even shifting. Now we've even lost that, right? We've lost the idea of maybe one day we get to, enjoy life in our old age. And so, but we've been on this journey of self-discovery, right? Discovering who we are, what brings us joy, shifting out of that survival mindset and into a mindset that is joyful and expansive and a little, maybe a different path than the rest of us, right? Maybe we've started our own business. Maybe we left our corporate job because it didn't feel right, right? We're beginning to have discernment and see what feels authentic and what resonates with us, right? That's part of the journey. That's part of what happens when you are healing or you're kind of going down a spiritual path. You realize that there's more. You realize that it's bigger. You realize that it's expansive and that is exciting. And we strive to just learn more and more about ourselves and the universe and why we're here and all of these things. And then this reality takes place. Then we look around, 2025 is hitting us right where it hurts. The cost of living is what, like 4 times what it was like 5 years ago. We're being kind of shoved back into this we're being pressured back into survival mode. And so this is a call. the phrase that came through was to hold the line. And so if like in a battle where, it's hold the line, as in do not let the enemy get past this line. We're here. We are the light. We are the high vibrational energy we're anchoring into this world. And we've made X amount of progress collectively, all of us together by just doing our own inner work, right? Never mind if you're also a grid worker or work with other people or whatever and you help in a bigger way. Just by doing your own work, you're part of this light, this big chunk of light that is here on this planet. And we're being asked to hold the line and not let the fear and the lower vibrational crap that is pushing us back into survival mode make us give up on what we know we're here for. Make us feel like I have to go back to my corporate job, or I have to go get another job because it's too cost of living is too much, or whatever, right? There's temptation to revert back to old ways, whether it's old coping mechanisms, things that we've grown past, which may be relationships or jobs or career paths, or the way that we handle our own emotions and mental state. It can be tempting to, oh, I'll just succumb to the depression again. Like I just can't fight it anymore. Basically, what I'm saying is those of us who have been holding this light for so long through just our own healing, we're tired. We're not tired, we're exhausted. It is a lot of work. And there's a temptation to say, fuck it, and kind of give up and just go back into survival mode. But that's intentional. That's intentional to keep us from doing this, to keep these systems in place. I promise you, everything is crumbling. It's crumbling from the inside out right now. We can't always see it. Just like when we do our own inner work, everything internally crumbles, right? Ego death. Perfect example of internal crumbling. Everything you think you know about yourself and your identity, who you are and why you're here, crumbles. That's usually something that happens in your spiritual awakening. You have that ego death. Who the fuck am I? And then you continue to have those as time goes on as well. And then things start to shift externally. We do so much work internally, and then it starts to manifest externally. Or if we don't do the internal work, externally it comes and it kind of suffocates us, right? If we ignore, for example, if if you're being asked to just slow down and do some healing and acknowledge your emotions, and you're not doing it, you might find yourself getting in an accident or, having some sort of, illness pop up that forces you to slow down. And, maybe you break a leg or, yeah, something that keeps you bedridden for a month so that you have no choice but to sit with your thoughts and emotions. So if we don't do the things internally, externally, they kind of close in on us. But the natural way to go about it, that if you're watching this, chances are you've gone internally first. And this is what's happening to the collective. So we have to remember we're a mirror. Our internal landscape is a mirror to what is happening externally, and everything that's happening externally is a mirror to what's happening internally. And that is what's happening to this collective stuff. We may not on the outside see everything crumbling internally yet, right? Just like you might be internally crumbling, but everyone around you sees the brave, strong face that you put on and how you navigate the world every day. Not everyone knows what you're battling, the demons you're battling, the emotions you're facing, the spiraling that you're fighting. Not everyone sees that until things begin to transform. Things are crumbling from the inside out in a lot of these systems, and the best thing we can do is to not give up. They're holding this external facade that we're doing great. We're just going to keep pushing and pushing and pushing, and it makes us lose hope. Don't lose hope. Hold the line and continue facing your deepest, darkest demons, because that is how we change the world. That is the alchemy. That is the energy of July is so fiery, and use that fire to engage passion instead of rage, and to just allow whatever is left in your inner landscape to transform so that your personal landscape externally can transform and you can find more peace. You can know that despite what's going on in the chaos in the world, maybe you have a garden and you're a little self-sustaining, or, you have a family and there's an abundance of love in your home, or, you're following your dream and you're happy and you're feeling joy. It's what really matters at the end of the day. And that is what you hold on to. It's not the fancy cars, it's not the fancy houses, it's love, it's authenticity, it's compassion. And holding the line doesn't just serve everyone else, it also serves yourself and serves us. Don't lose hope. Don't revert back. Do not take the temptations to go back to any old ways. That is your call for this week, but also this month. All right. Love you.